Episode 37, Life Changing Advice. Episode 37, Listen to your body. It won't lie. Listen to your body. I have seen so many things, I've read about so many things, and your body tells you things that you need to address. So I can remember having a headache for, I think it was like 8 weeks straight every single day. And when you have headaches, I always think about, and I've been reading about this, all kind of research. When you have pain in your body, the first thing you should look at is your life. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. I am saying you need to look at your body. You need to look at your life. You need to see what things are bothering you. You need to see areas in your life where you're unhappy. You need to look at areas where you need to speak up and you don't speak up. You need to look at areas where you're trying to control the uncontrollable. You need to look at areas in your life where you have unrealistic expectations. You look at areas where you want things to be perfect and it's never going to be perfect. I always look at, like, what areas do I need to let go? What areas do I need to speak on? What areas do I need to address? What areas, things I need to focus on so that I can change them? How can I change me? How can I change my attitude, my thought process about it, or just my attitude in general, my thought process in general? We have pain in our bodies. We have to check ourselves first. We have to look at the areas in our lives where we have ignored. We have to look at areas in our lives where we have built up unforgiveness, resentment, bitterness, angry, frustration, overwhelm. Maybe we've taken on too many things. Maybe we have said yes to too many things. We need to go back and say, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be able to do this. I can't do it. Maybe we look at areas where we have unforgiveness. Somebody has hurt us and we are holding it over their heads, or we're holding it against them. They don't even know, but we are harboring this unforgiveness. Maybe it's resentment. Maybe it's jealousy. All these different things is worth the attention. It's worth looking at. It's worth addressing. It's worth just saying, okay, maybe I ought to take a look at this. Maybe I ought to just step back and look at my life. And every one of us are guilty of things that we want to control, we can't control. Time we want to speed up, we want our lives to be, moments of microwave blessings, moments of things happening real quick. And the truth of the matter is, it's not going to be real quick. And people are imperfect just like we are. And so sometimes we have people on such high pedestals of things they could never do. They could never be who we want them to be. They could never be this perfect person. None of us can. But we don't, until we sit down and start thinking about it, we don't even know. We don't realize that we expect this person to do stuff that we wouldn't even do ourselves, or that we can't do ourselves. So pay attention to your body. If you have pain in your body, as I mentioned before, I had headache 8 weeks. Went to the doctor trying to figure out, what's happening. He's asking me, he's making small talk. And I'm a coder. I've been a medical coder for quite a bit of time in my life, over a decade. And so I realized immediately what he was doing, but I needed to get to the bottom of the headaches. I needed to figure out what I needed to do to, get rid of the headaches. And so he starts talking to me about my family. He starts asking me, what's going on with work and how are things going and all these different things. And he, he's the doctor for my children, my grown children. And so he was asking me how they were doing and all that. And you don't realize that things that happen in your life, maybe it's your children, if you're worried about your children, or if you're worried about your parents, or if you're worried about money, or if you're worried about control or perfection, you don't realize how these things will affect our body. They will give us stomach pain, digestive issues, headaches. They will give us numbness, tingling, all these different things, because of the way that we feel on the inside, the stuff that people can't see, the stuff that people don't know about us. And so he talks to me about, my son was in Austin at the time, and he was asking me, about him. And of course I was worried about my son. He was very, very young, and I was worried about him. We talked back and forth, and he said, okay, I want you to call your son, ask him how he's doing, trust that he's okay, and then you got to let him go, let him be an adult, all these different things. Within 2 days, my headache was gone. And so things bother us. Things affect our body. Life affects our body. The way we handle life affects our body. We get pain in our body because of life. And it's not always an illness. It could turn into an illness. But in my opinion, a lot of the stuff that happens in our life is because of life happening. A lot of stuff happens to our body is life happening, it's stress. It's the way we handle things. It's the worry. It's the too focused on the future. It's too focused on, things being a certain way or events that haven't even happened that won't happen. It's all these things that affect our body. And if we would just address on a regular basis things that happen, if we will just be more self-aware of who we are and how we respond, how we are, our different blind spots, we can help ourselves to feel better. So think about this for yourself today. What is your body trying to tell you? What issues do you need to address? Who do you need to have a crucial conversation with? What needs to happen? What you need to do? And I can bet you we all have at least 5 things that we can address that'll make us feel better, that'll make our lives better, easier, less stressful, that we ignore because it's easier to ignore it. It's just easier to ignore it. It's easier not to deal with it. But think about that for yourself. Think about what you need to do going forward. Think about how stress is affecting your life, and then make the changes. Make the changes. Do the things that you need to do so you can change your life, so that your body doesn't have to tell you through headaches or diarrhea or nausea and vomiting or tingling or whatever it is that your body will speak to you. Your body doesn't have to do that if you address the things in your life as they happen.